take a good look at the startups and see what they do differently, and then dare to adapt. Because big corporates like Coca-Cola and GE already did and proved to be successful in doing so. My name is Ramon Luijten. I'm one of the co-founders of EMansion. And EMansion is a network organization that tries to improve our customers' engagement by using innovative new technologies like virtual reality, live video streaming, location-based services. I'm quite proud to say that we've already worked closely together with our Dutch airport called Schiphol. Amsterdam Arena is a big event site. Now is the time, I think, to embrace new technologies and make a few exponential steps forward in activating your brand and building a really relevant engagement with your customers. And we can learn so much from new startups, the unicorns that within no time have become billion-dollar companies. And they do things completely different than the corporates are doing now.
In what way is it different?
They have delayered the organizations, so no delays in decision making. They are applying customer-centric product development, so they're not going to invest €1 or $1 in a new product before it's actually been proven on Kickstarter that there's an actual demand. And so there's several types of the things they do really different, which we could learn from. One is the way they've organized themselves, meaning delayering the whole decision-making process, but creating autonomous groups that are basically allowed to make the decision whenever needed. And then the way they actually develop and innovate. They don't go push technology into the market, but they engage with their end users from the start, put it out via crowdfunding platforms like Kickstarter, and immediately assess whether there actually is a demand before they start investing. Companies shouldn't ignore the extreme impact of the digital disruption and technology driving this. People shouldn't hide from it or run from it, but actually embrace it as an opportunity. And that would mean actually 3 lessons. One is take a good look at the startups and see what they do differently, and then dare to adapt. Because big corporates like Coca-Cola and GE already did and proved to be successful in doing so. Then there is this huge wave of new technologies coming, but there are some which are ready for market. And I truly believe in virtual reality as being one of them. Live video streaming and location-based services enabled by beacons, for instance. And by making the right combination of these 3, you can actually engage with your customer when he's still at home or in a hotel, and become more relevant in the engagement when he's actually with you on site. The speed of our processes are going to increase double-fold every year, so now there is no limitations in the technology. There is no limitation if it comes to user adoption. We're all using smartphones for years now. We're actually all getting acquainted with alternative sources of content. More than 50 people are no longer watching traditional broadcasting television. They're watching video on demand. They're watching live streaming on the internet. So from a technology point of view and an end user point of view, there's no barriers anymore. And there is a need, driven by the economic crisis, to actually do things different and differentiate by doing so. Smack yourself in the face. Since Oculus Rift came with their goggles, all of a sudden it seemed that the market was ready to it, and it's taken off exponentially. It's even now in our next door retail shops you can buy the goggles for €15. So I truly believe this is going to be the new environment in which people are going to share content, are going to work closely together, will be enjoying videos, cinemas, football matches, but then you are being in New York and I'm actually somewhere down in Sydney, and we virtually, with our avatars, take place in this cinema enjoying the content real time. So it's going to be the main driver of media experiences, for sure.
And for your part, how are you going to work with virtual reality?
Currently we use it for our customers to actually inspire their target group before they're on site, to give an insight on what they could experience when they come to a venue or when they come to visit a city. And we're currently working on a full event in VR. So time and location independent, giving the speakers the platform to give their keynote speak, just right in front of me, but on the right side, when I turn 90 degrees, I see the books written by the speakers. With just a view, I can click and actually order a book. And this is probably going to be released mid-2016.
You told me IT is still in silos. What do you mean with that?
This refers to one of the major issues of big corporates. They have a legacy problem with their information and their IT, meaning there is all sorts of system stacks, data, records, which are not being integrated yet. So the problem is, once you're going to innovate, your lead time becomes very long because you have to go over tests per silo. Only the quick ones, the agile ones, manage to build a goal architecture with a central data storage and a central service layer. So it's actually a problem for big corporates to become lean.
And the solution will be, you were kind of touching upon that, but what is the solution?
It's a very complicated solution, but it deals with a single sign-on for end users, an application management system infrastructure which provides them access to configure their services, and a central data storage which allows you to apply the big data analytics instead of databases all over the place and no metadata management ensuring the quality of the data. I believe if it is your aim to activate your brand and actually generate traffic to your physical location, because that's what I'm talking about, then VR enables you now to give inspirational content to your end users when they're actually still somewhere out there, because the glasses that you need to use are mainstream. Facebook, YouTube supports 360 video nowadays, so there's no barriers from a technology point of view. Live video streaming seems to be the trend for our generation, basically, to consume information. We don't want to sit and wait what is being broadcasted. We decide what we look for. So live video streaming enables you to bring content to the people on site, but actually a huge amount of people which are not on site can still tap in and be part of the experience. And I think location-based services enabled, for instance, by iBeacons, is ready for market now. We've learned that we don't want to put out push notifications all the time and be very intrusive and annoy our target group. But we now know that we can see who you are, where you are, and when this information is probably very relevant to you. So you're welcoming the alert instead of basically avoiding it.